Should Christians be engaged in politics? Of course, absolutely. Why leave it to the heathen to run our lives?
And how is that connected to preaching the gospel?
Well, we can't preach the gospel if we don't have religious freedom. You know, we can't. The Bible says that we are to pray for kings, for those in authority, that we may live a peaceable life in all godliness. And what that really means is we are to pray for, desire, work toward a culture most conducive for the spread of the gospel. Now, before I quote Calvin Coolidge, I want to quote Augustine. He lived 354 to 430. Augustine wrote a very famous work called The City of God. And he said, look, we're on our way to the city of God, but until we get there, we have an obligation to the city of man. And so it is absolutely appropriate for Christians to be involved in politics because, let me say, there is a fallacy called a false dichotomy. A lot of Christians will say, either you're living for Jesus or you're engaged in politics. Why can't we do both and? Now, because I care about the state of our government and the future of our country, and I care about those things because I care about what my life is going to be like in 10 years, and I care about the church's ability to publicly live and share Jesus. Look, because I do care about America, it doesn't necessarily follow at all that I don't care about heaven. And I've had Christians say, well, I thought we were supposed to live for heaven. Well, yeah, but that doesn't preclude that we invest in our nation. So on the 150th anniversary of the Declaration of Independence, Calvin Coolidge said this. He said, there's a certain finality about the ideas that made America. He said, look, all men are created by God. You can't really improve on that, said Coolidge. All men have worth, value, dignity, rights, life, liberty, the pursuit of happiness. He said, you could change the Declaration and Constitution, but it would not be progressive. It would be regressive. I mean, this is amazing.
That's excellent.
Yeah, nearly 100 years ago, Calvin Coolidge said this. He said, many argue that we'll progress and we'll change. He said, when you're on the top of the mountain, any way you go is down.